War. War never changes. Ever since we learned to crawl, we've been killing each other for one reason or another. Land, ideals, survival, or just like the world's last war. Resources. In the 21st century, after years of international tensions and decades of overconsumption, resources became scarce. The greatest powers of the old world went on the warpath, invading one another, ransacking neighboring nations to scavenge whatever resources the exhausted world could still provide. Once the smaller nations were bled dry, the United States cut off any current and future oil trade in the name of self-preservation. To the already struggling China, who relied on their reserves, this was a declaration of war. They invaded Alaska, seizing oil reserves, killing whoever got in the way. With the Alaskan pipeline running through Canada, pressure was put on the Canadian government to allow U.S. troops onto their soil. Her people wanted nothing to do with it. It didn't matter. With little to no fight, they allowed it. And it wouldn't be the last time. For every inch the Canadians gave, the U.S. took a mile. More and more mines were drained. Vast amounts of timberland permanently destroyed, all in the name of the war effort. With all confidence lost in their government, a new political movement emerged, calling themselves the People's Front. The movement quickly grew. Protests were held, meetings with Parliament were attempted, but even with heads of public services and politicians on their side, they still didn't listen. By 2072, the Canadian people finally had enough. Mass riots broke out across Canada. The people's pent-up frustration was unleashed not only on their government, but their occupiers as well, eventually leading to an attempted sabotage of the Alaskan pipeline itself. This was all the excuse the U.S. needed. With permission from the Canadian government, the U.S. annexed their neighbors to the north, and its provinces became territories of the United States. Little America, they called it. The occupying forces quickly eroded the remaining civil and human rights of the Canadian people, imprisoning and executing citizens in the street for protesting or simple suspicion of anti-American rhetoric. The following years would be no better for either side. In the face of a seemingly endless war, famine, and newfound plague, morale and the willingness to fight steadily declined. However, negotiations, laying down of arms, our mutual want for peace changed nothing. Change only came in the form of nuclear fire. Finally, in 2077, the war and the occupation would come to an end. For 2 hours, nearly every corner of the world was scorched, laid to waste when the nuclear arsenal of every country was released almost simultaneously. The world fell silent. Conflict ceased. For a moment. Until, like roaches, humanity rose from the ashes, eager to settle some scores. In Canada, the witch hunt turned. Americans of any form were run down and exterminated. The lust for blood would bring the people together, united in a common goal. No flags or symbols needed. It didn't last long. Eventually, old world politics and organizations would once again rear their heads and along with it, old world conflicts. The People's Front returned with its newly found council and used its old world reputation to quickly gain support, eventually spanning multiple provinces. It fast became the largest and arguably the most powerful faction in Canada. But not without obstacles. To the south, American tribes were forming, once again plundering and killing. The PFC would not have it. They secured their border, making sure no American would wish to step foot in Canada again. To the north, progress was halted when they happened upon the ever-looming presence of Mickey and his Royal Rupert's Bay Company, a resource acquisition and trade company with no official standing army, but enough mercenaries to crush anyone's ambition. With neither side wanting to lose commodities, trade was open between the two, but not without apprehension. When they attempted to head east, they were met with defiance by the French coalition party, led by Louis de Baptiste, the descendant of a pre-war general. The French blamed the English for Canada's annexation and wanted nothing to do with the PFC, claiming an independent Quebec. This, however, fell on deaf ears. The People's Front built a military presence in what the coalition party considered to be sovereign French territory and encroached upon their cities. Lou would not tolerate this. With the PFC's army stretched thin and occupied with fighting the horrors to the west, Lou took the opportunity to solidify his position. He attacked and began the Franco-Anglo War, a war that has gone on for more than a decade, creating a society that no longer remembers a time without it. Little America is once again at its breaking point. It is here we join Echo Squad, unknowing catalysts in what will become of this once proud, divided nation.